Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to another Alt Vintage Cube draft. I'll probably put this in the same list as regular Vintage Cube, but this particular variant is only going to run for, I think, a week or two. Opening pick, we get Time Walk, so I will reserve Time Walk because that card is insane, and I'm going to talk a little bit about something else for a moment. If you see a couple of extra limited videos in the next little bit, where you are expecting content of some other kind, it is because they take a little bit less time to record than everything else, and I've had some very, very, very important personal business pop up in the last couple of days that I absolutely must focus on. But of course, if I don't play Magic, I'll go insane, and so I want to still produce content for you guys. It just may not be the content I want to make 100%, but I do love Vintage Cube. So we'll be doing Vintage Cube. And like I said, if you see it instead of some constructed content here or there for the next week, maybe 2 weeks, please be understanding. And I'm not going to talk about what this business is until such time as it has been finalized. So, pick 2, we're going to take Mana Crypt 100%. Mana Crypt is by far the strongest card in this pack by a huge margin. Of course, having Venser or Factor Fiction in this deck would be crazy because we already have Time Warp or Time Walk, but Mana Crypt is an incredibly powerful... This is like Mox level artifact, so we're going to take Mana Crypt. All right, pack 3. We can take Turnabout if we want to go for a Stormy type deck, but I think honestly we take Counterspell. It's just like 2 mana counters in this format are very, very powerful. So, plus we're already in blue, and blue seems to be open. I do like Phyrexian Metamorph. Urza Lord High Artificer, though, also is very tempting. The ability to tap all of our artifacts for blue in sort of a Tolarian Academy-esque manner. We already have Time Walk, we have Mana Crypt, so yeah, we'll take Urza. We can do an artifact-y, some kind of blue deck. I do like red for the Burn Spell edition. I don't think I would take Scrap Heap Scrounger. Seagate Restoration is also somewhat tempting. It's powerful, and the cost of running it is relatively low. We could also take Seachrome Coast if we wanted to have the ability to splash white, which is not bad. I think Seagate Restoration is probably going to go late, although it is one of the only blue cards in this pack. I'm going to pick Seachrome Coast just to have the opportunity to splash white. Okay. I really like Mystical Tutor in this deck because we do have Time Walk, and Mystical Tutor is effectively a second copy of Time Walk that you can draw. Sublime Epiphany would be cool, but the card is very expensive, so I'm going to go with Mystical Tutor. It's a lot better if we can get things like Time Twister or Time Spiral or other high-power instants and sorceries to be able to tutor. All right, I like Dig Through Time. Bazaar of Baghdad's not bad at all, but we're not doing Reanimator things. There's no powerful artifacts in this pack. I could take Firebolt if I wanted to go blue-red, but there's no reason to... We've already passed Burst Lightning, Chain Lightning, and I don't remember if I saw Lightning Bolt or not, but I'll take Dig Through Time. We're going to stay mono-blue at the moment. We'll see what comes around. It's a little bit crazy that mono-blue is this open. We could take Baral. Baral is really good with our Counterspell strategy. Crop Rotation is good, and if I had, like, Tolarian Academy, I might do, like, green-blue. I think I actually take Everflowing Chalice here, because we have Urza. This is a way to generate a whole bunch of extra mana. Yeah, I'm actually going to take Everflowing Chalice over Baral. Maybe that's a mistake, but... Okay, so this was our opening pick. Thoughtseize came all the way around, so I don't think anybody is in black. I don't think we need Entomb. I will take Thoughtseize, though. Sun Titan's tempting, but... Oh my gosh, Watery Grave. Batterskull and Bloodchief's Thirst would be good. Batterskull is a decent artifact beater. It's great versus aggro, but I'm going to take Perfect Fixing for this Thoughtseize. Okay, Turnabout came around. Turnabout we can use to generate a bunch of broken mana. Bombat Courier is not really a card we want to play in this deck, because we're not going to be aggressive. We're probably not running red. Painful Truths is tempting. It could give us a reason to splash white, but I'm going to take Turnabout. Like, we could always play a deck that just, like, high tides out in Eldrazi. So, I'll take Imperial Seal. Just having access to a tutor is powerful. I'm going to put Seachrome Coast in the sideboard. I guess I'll take Scrap Heap Scrounger. Recruiter of the Guard and Hazoret are both better cards, but I wouldn't be playing either one of those. There's some weird off chance I play Scrap Heap Scrounger, even though it's an aggressive card. Yawgmoth is technically in our colors, although we're not going to probably have that many creatures. And our last pick is a Flame Tongue Kabu. Okay, we have 3 good picks in this pack. Excuse the Gatorade chug there. We have Flooded Strand, which gets us Watery Grave. We have Mystic Sanctuary, and we have Ponder. Now, Mystic Sanctuary with Time Walk is insane. However, especially because we're going to be basically mono blue. Or mono islands, I should say. However, I think Ponder is more likely to be picked. Ponder is a very good card for us to have. It helps get us to our other better cards. Flooded Strand, we're almost certainly going to miss. And Mystic Sanctuary should come around unless somebody else is drafting mono blue. So I'm going to take Ponder. Okay, in this pack we have Bloodstained Mire, which can fetch Watery Grave or Basic Swamp. Professor Onyx isn't bad. Emery is kind of good. We do have Everflowing Chalice, and we have Mana Crypt. Talisman of Dominance is also nice. It fits with the artifact theme with Urza. There's also Coalition Relic, which is pretty crazy, and Negate. I think I'm going to take Coalition Relic and kind of hope Negate wheels. Yeah, I think that's the play. Okay. In this pack, we have Gitaxian Probe, Jace Vryn's Prodigy. We can take Kozilek or we can take Creeping Tar Pit. I'm going to pass on Creeping Tar Pit and take Jace because Jace can flashback Time Walk. Probe would be better if we were playing Storm. And I feel like we're going to be a little bit more controlling. Okay. Shark Typhoon versus Liliana the Veiled, Night's Whisper, and Scarab God. I like Shark Typhoon a lot because Shark Typhoon basically can just win the game by itself. It is a crazy good win condition. It cycles at instant speed. It gives us a huge mana dump. If we just like play it quickly off of Mana Crypt, Everflowing Chalice mana, it makes all of our other spells win the game. Making a big shark and taking a couple of extra turns seems like a fantastic way to win, so I'll take Shark Typhoon. Preordain, Animate Dead, Bring to Light, and Umezawa's Jitte. We're not going to have enough creatures for Jitte to work. Bring to Light would be crazy. Like, we could splash green and cast Time Walk with it. Just build your own Time Warp. I think I'm going to take Preordain because I like having access to broken blue cantrips. And Preordain going this late tells me that Mystic Sanctuary should come around, which is very exciting for me. Alright, we have Prismari Command, which we don't have the colors to play. I think I take Force of Negation. Amanato's Augury is a card that would be incredibly powerful at the top end, but there's not many decks that can actually play this card. Like, you have to be big mana and you have to be blue, or you have to be casting spells for free. I think we take Force of Negation to have another effective counterspell. Well, there's Lightning Bolt, but we're way out of red at this point. I'm going to take Force. Alright, this is difficult. So, Grizzlebrand, like, we could turn about our way into a Grizzlebrand, just making a huge amount of mana. I think I actually take Verdant Catacombs so that I can fetch up for Watery Grave. Wheel of Fortune would be, I think, the best card for us, because we have fast mana, so we could just, like, dump our hand and then Wheel of Fortune, basically forcing our opponent to mulligan. But I'm going to take the fetch for consistency, I think. Okay, in this pack, I really like Collective Brutality. We're not doing the Reanimator thing, so Recurring Nightmare not really on the table at the moment. We're only getting one pick from that pack anyway. Okay, this was our opening pack, and Dismember is a pretty good pickup for us, so I will take Dismember. Okay, the card that I wanted to wheel in this pack didn't come around. I don't remember what it was, but there was a card in this pack I was hoping to wheel. I'll take Bone Shredder, as it's the more control-y of the few things we can do here. Okay, we'll take Scrubland. That's an additional fetch for Verdant Catacombs. We may need to splash white. I will take Heartbeat of Spring, because we could, like, backdoor into, like, Control Storm here. Hornet Queen in the side, I guess. Elspeth in the side. We might be doing, like, an Esper Control. Okay, so we kind of got cut out of blue. Oh, Mystic Sanctuary. That was the card I was hoping to wheel. We did not get Mystic Sanctuary, so somebody else is deep into blue. So let's hope for a good open in Pack 3. Okay, so Pack 3, we have Teferi Time Raveler, which we can splash white. There's a Wasteland. There's Krasis. And we were kind of thinking about splashing green a little bit, although we didn't get Bring to Light. I think we take Teferi, as it's just the most controlling thing we can do. Muldrifter is also great, but Teferi invalidates a lot of interaction in this format. Time Spiral. If we can get High Tide, we can just draw a million cards. I like Hymn to Turok, but it's double black, and we don't have that much fixing. I'm going to take Time Spiral. If we get, like, 3 mana Narset, we already passed Leovold, so there's no chance of Leovold, even though we ended up in the right colors. There's a Brain Freeze. There's also a Mana Leak. So we could try to backdoor into Storm. We have Ponder, Preordain, Imperial Seal, Time Spiral, Turnabout, which is a pretty good, like, working Storm deck. If we're not going to try and have... We don't have that many win conditions. I should probably take the Brain Freeze. But if we're not going to try and be Storm, I should definitely take Mana Leak here, because I will not have another opportunity for that card, especially with blue getting cut. And Mana Leak is one of the better counter spells in this format as well. I think I got to take Brain Freeze, because there's just a lot of decks that this will actually beat. Fast Bond is fun. I think I take Underground Sea, though. Opposition's great, but we don't have enough creatures to take advantage of it. Duress is also pretty fantastic. Fast Bond might wheel. And if Fast Bond does wheel, I can play... I can play Time Spiral also kind of as a ritual, but we definitely got to take the fixing here. Okay, so we've got Brainstorm. We only have one fetch. We also have Ponder and Preordain. I think we take Spell Pierce, because Spell Pierce is really powerful in Vintage Cube. I could take Breeding Pool. Breeding Pool is an island, so if we end up getting High Tide, which is unlikely at this point, but still possible, we don't really have a reason to splash green, so I'm going to take Spell Pierce. Okay, Dark Petition and Spellseeker are both fantastic. Dark Petition's a little bit harder to cast, but guarantees we get the card we want. Spellseeker gets Time Walk, basically. There's also Lotus Petal. Lotus Petal we can play like Mox Sapphire, because we do have Urza. I think Spellseeker is better in the general case, because we have so many good low-drop spells. I think I'm going to take Lotus Petal, though, because I'm kind of relying on a Storm win condition at this point. Okay, I'm going to take Ulamog here. Ulamog prevents us from getting Brain Freezed. We could also just control until we eventually cast an Ulamog as a win condition. And if we get High Tide, we can also just High Tide into an Ulamog. Okay, it does not look like we will be getting High Tide. In this case, I'm going to take Talisman of Resilience, because I don't think anything else in this pack is actually good for us. I could splash for a Vindicate, but I don't think I'm going to be casting a Vindicate. I also could splash for Rakdos's Return, although we have no rituals. And we have Coalition Relic, so it's not impossible for us to tap for. We'll just take the Talisman. We don't have many onboard removal spells. In fact, Bone Shredder, Dismember, and Collective Brutality are the only ones. I'm a little bit light on win conditions, so I could take Massacre Worm, although it is triple black. I think I take Heartless Act here. Okay, Arcane Denial is a counterspell, but not a great one. I might still have to take it. We have almost no creatures for Copter. If we're splashing white, double white's out of the question. I will take Arcane Denial, but I don't know that I'm playing it. Shieldred might be a desperation pick at this point, because I'm kind of like win conditionless control, other than maybe Shark Typhoon. We don't need red. Not really going to splash for an Explorer. Wow, no respect for opposition. I don't have any creatures, or I would take it. If I even had Bitter Blossom, I think I would take it, but we'll take Duress. Skyclave Shade technically could win. Falconwrath Aristocrat will go on the sideboard, and we get a Char. Alright, well, let's hope the strength of Time Walk gets us there. I am really, really sad that we did not get Mystic Sanctuary, although I still stand by my pick order when it comes to that. Alright, so group creatures separately. Mana Crypt I will play as a land. Lotus Petal is like half a land, and Everflowing Chalice is a spell. We have a fantastic suite of 1-mana spells. I don't think I'm actually going to play Skyclave Shade unless for some reason I'm against win conditionless control. I don't think I'm going to play Arcane Denial unless I really need another counterspell. We really only have counterspell, but Teferi's fantastic, but I think we can board it versus control because it does make our mana quite a bit worse, just playing Scrubland and Seachrome Coast. I'm going to keep Ulamog, but getting to Ulamog is going to be difficult, I think, even with Urza. We did not get Aminato's Augury either, which I thought we would, but I guess somebody moved into blue. Maybe I was sending too strong of signals with my picks. It really does feel like win conditionless control. I'm gonna need 17 lands, I think. I'll sideboard Bone Shredder, and Lotus Petal I'm gonna count as a spell. I'm going to sideboard... I actually really like Dig Through Time in this deck because of how many 1-mana spells we have. I'm gonna sideboard, I think, Heartless Act. So we can play Mana Crypt, Underground Sea, Watery Grave, Verdant Catacombs. Wants us to play 3 swamps and a ton of islands. Mana Crypt is effectively a land. And we have a Talisman, a Coalition Relic, an Everflowing Chalice, and a Lotus Petal to help fill out our other lands. Although a 16-land Ulamog the Infinite Gyre deck does not inspire confidence. We're going to try and make this work, so I'll see you guys in round 1. Alrighty, so We are on the draw for round 1, and if I had actually played a land instead of that Lotus Petal, this hand would be keepable, provided that land tapped for black, because we could Imperial Seal for another land, and then we could Time Walk and all this stuff. We got a mulligan. This, on the other hand, is a lot better. I'm going to keep, and I think I need to put back this Dismember. I'm not going to play Mana Crypt right away. Alright, opponent leads on a forest. I may regret putting back that Dismember. We'll see. An extra land is good because that gets me closer to actually casting Shark Typhoon. Like casting Shark Typhoon. Opponent plays a forest into a Soccer Tribe Elder. That is not particularly dangerous to us. The question is, do I want to Mystical Tutor right now for Time Warp? Or Time Walk, I mean. And I kind of do. It would just be an Explorer this early. But I would untap, draw Time Walk, play a land, Time Walk, play a land, and I could play Mana Crypt, and then I could go for either a big Shark Typhoon cycle, or I'd only be one land away. I think we just wait. Alright, that's not really what I wanted to draw, but play a Swamp, pass the turn. Okay, opponent sacks Soccer Tribe Elder for an island. They play a Forest. They play Worn Power Stone. I will Spell Pierce this. Okay, now I think I'm going to go for Time Walk. Yeah, let's get Time Walk here. We draw Time Walk, play Underground Sea, play Time Walk. Because if we can actually cast out Shark Typhoon, it's pretty good. We draw Duress. Alright, well, that's decent. Play Duress. Ooh, we can take Nissa, Harmonize, or Coalition Relic. I think we need to take Nissa. Card draw, it sucks, especially because this is a draw 3. I think I'm going to have to end up cycling Shark Typhoon. But Harmonize takes up their next turn. Nissa is a huge problem because it's a mana doubler. Play Mana Crypt. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps. They cast Harmonize. Yep. No lands to play. That is extremely intimidating. So cycle Shark Typhoon. Mega Shark. Draw Imperial Seal. We untap. Mana Crypt, say Tails never fails. Heads, we lose the flip. We draw an island. Alright, play an island. What else did I put in this deck? What can we Imperial Seal for here that's good? Actually, Urza wouldn't be that bad. We could play Urza. We would be a couple mana off of activating him. He might be a little slow. I could get Time Spiral here, as shuffling all of these cards back in and getting a new hand after my opponent tapped out for a turn to draw cards is probably decent. So we are going to Imperial Seal for Time Spiral. Yeah, Time Spiral is the way to go here, I think. Go to combat. Attack our opponent for 2. Opponent untaps. They play Talisman and Coalition Relic. Alright, so they will probably end up casting a Woodfall Primus next turn, unless Tails never fails. We win the flip. We draw Time Spiral. Kind of sucks that we have to use artifact mana for this, but what can you do? Alright, untap. We can play an island. So, we're going to attack for 2. And then the question is, what do we do with the rest of our mana? At 5 mana, I could Mystical Tutor for Counterspell, cycle Shark Typhoon to draw Counterspell, and then cast it if I needed to. I would much rather do other things with my mana. The alternative is getting Time Walk, casting Time Walk here, which gives me 3 more mana than I have this turn. So I would go up to 8, and then I would draw another card, but then I would lose Shark Typhoon. I think we just pass and try and hope that Force of Negation is going to be enough here. And if that's the case, no, I'm a mana short if I wanted to play Urza and use the artifact tapping. So, hit our opponent for 2, and then pass the turn. Opponent untaps. Coalition Relic, gonna add mana. We have no idea what's in their hand now. They drew 7 cards. Bring to Light, cast with 2 colors. Alright, we'll let them cast whatever they're gonna cast here. They're gonna cast Valky as Tybalt. Hard cast Force of Negation. Kind of praying that was their only real play this turn. They're charging up Coalition Relic and passing. So we are definitely Mystical Tutoring for Time Walk. We untap. Tails never fails. We lose the flip. Go to 12. We draw Time Walk. Play Verdant Catacombs. Crack Verdant Catacombs. Get a basic Swamp. Okay, we can cast Shark Typhoon first. Then cast Time Walk. Make a Shark. Go to combat. Hit our opponent for 2. We untap. Tails never fails. We win the flip. We draw Collective Brutality. So, play Urza, make a construct. We can spin to cast a spell right now. Or I could, like, Collective Brutality and shuffle Time Walk back into my deck again, draining my opponent, making a shark, and... I don't think we need to cast anything right now. This can be activated at any time, right? Yeah. So hit our opponent for 4. We do also still have 1 counterspell left in the deck, so, like, we could spin in response to a spell. Pass the turn. Okay, Coalition Relic untaps, gives our opponent mana. 7, 8. This could be... Oh, it's Upheaval. That is a problem. Let's see if we can get any value. Dig through time. Well, I can make a shark that costs 8, but I think I have to dig now. I have no free counter spells in the deck. I've used Force. So... I mean, I guess I cast this beforehand. We can get Talisman of Resilience and Coalition Relic to help dump out our hand. Put the rest of the bottom. So if my opponent's best play is, like, land Talisman here, it's kind of fine. Land Dryad, land... Okay, that's a little bit of an issue. So opponent has to discard. We untap and draw Jace. So play Underground Sea. Play... Oh, I don't really want to play Mana Crypt, but I think I have to. Otherwise I'm just going to discard too much. Play Mana Crypt, and then I think we play Coalition Relic here. I could Collective Brutality, like, 3 mode, just to get more cards out of my hand. And if that's the case, I play Talisman of Resilience here. I think I do that, actually. The Duress is nice because it lets us know what's upcoming. We can gain life. The 3 mode is to just so we don't have to discard cards, I guess. Yeah, we'll play Talisman. So Duress, -2/-2 drain. The question is, do I want to discard Ulamog and shuffle these cards back in? Or do I just want to discard some lands? If I shuffle back in, I get Time Walk again. Otherwise, I could play Jace and maybe... That might be kind of pushing it, trying to flip him. I'm actually going to discard Ulamog and an island here. So shuffle our Grave back in. Drain our opponent and Duress them. They have Natural Order, which is extremely scary, and they also have Channel. Channel is not that useful because their life total is getting really low. We definitely have to take Natural Order from them, though. Alright, pass the turn. Then we'll discard 1 card, which will be a swamp. So opponent plays 2 forests and casts Harmonize. Then plays Mox Emerald. Then plays Utopia Sprawl. That's pretty good, I hear. They hit us for 2. We go to 11. We untap. Say Tails Never Fails. We win the flip. We draw Mystical Tutor so we can get Time Walk. Play an island. I can't quite play Urza and Coalition Relic. I could play Urza into Jace, which would be pretty sick. As long as our opponent doesn't, like, have us dead next turn, I think that's our best play here. So play Urza, he's a big 1/4. Tap the Construct. We'll play Jace. Pass the turn. The problem here is if my opponent has a huge creature of any kind, they're channeling. So they have up to 7 additional mana. They cast Ulamog, the Infinite Gyre, taking out Urza. That doesn't do it, actually. I think we've got them now. Because we can make a flying token. So we stop on our own upkeep. We Mystical Tutor. Get Time Walk again. Opponent scoops. We were going to take a bunch of extra turns because we were going to flip Jace. That's awesome. Oh, man, I thought we were done for. That is sick. I definitely want Heartless Act versus this deck. Duress is still important, though. Force of Negation is less good. I can't believe Ulamog actually did work, too. Like, he was very important because he shuffled in our Time Walk, which is how we won. I could cut Preordain, but I really like Preordain. My opponent's playing Upheaval, so maybe I don't play... Gosh, I don't know. I think I cut Preordain. I think. I'm not a huge fan of doing that because I really like the powerful cantrips. I just don't know what else I can cut, and I definitely want the kill spell here. So, run it back like this. Alright, this hand casts Time Walk. We do have a tutor. We have good mana. We'll have a counter spell on turn 2, and we don't have to play Mana Crypt right away. I think I'm going to keep, and we're going to try and play a control roll with 1 counter spell. Yeah, opponent leads on Land Mox, Talisman. That's pretty good. Play an island, pass the turn. Opponent untaps. We need to not draw any more lands. That's for sure. Opponent plays Coalition Relic, then passes. Charging up the Relic. We draw Time Spiral. Play Underground Sea, pass the turn. Opponent untaps. They draw a card. Coalition Relic, giving them blue mana. They cast Sylvan Caryatid, which we don't really care about. They're charging up the Relic. Okay, I think I am going to Mystical Tutor for a Time Walk, just to get an Explore going on here. So, get Time Walk. Untap. We draw Time Walk. Cast Time Walk. Play a Watery Grave tapped. Untap. We draw Ulamog. Play a land. I could Time Spiral here, but that would probably draw my opponent lands, and I don't want to get rid of this counterspell just yet. I think we're going to try and counterspell a threat first. So opponent untaps. Charge counter coming off Coalition Relic. Adding blue mana. They cast Upheaval, which we will very, very quickly counterspell. Just because they could rebuild their board very quickly, and ours would be very slow. We untap and draw Verdant Catacombs. I don't know if I want to go for a Time Spiral right now, but I need to draw something, right? So play a Swamp, cast Mana Crypt, cast Time Spiral, floating a blue, untap all of our stuff. Then we can Duress. I probably should have let on Thoughtseize, but opponent does have Channel Ulamog and Upheaval. So we gotta stop them from playing Upheaval, and we can't let them have Channel Ulamog. Opponent has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They're almost to hard casting Ulamog. So I think what we have to do is Duress Upheaval and then Thoughtseize Ulamog. Then we'll pass the turn, and I guess leave up Dismember for Courser. This was not a very good Time Spiral, but thankfully we drew all of our hand hate there. Well, not all of it. We still had, what's it called? Collective Brutality in the deck somewhere. When it plays a Forest off the top. They don't have a lot else they can play this turn. I guess they have Harmonize. Never mind. They Harmonize. So they draw Utopia Sprawl, Golos, and something else. Another Forest, I think. And now they are passing. So Dismember Courser. We untap. We know they're drawing another Forest. Mana Crypt. Tails Never Fails. We win the flip. I think we have nothing left for this Verdant Catacombs. So play an island. Pass the turn. I could Turnabout them, but they have 3 mana in artifacts, 3 mana in lands. Turnabout is not particularly good. Turnabout might actually be best as a fog for us. Utopia Sprawl. The big problem that we have is we have no big card advantage spells. Oh, they drew something big. Oh, they're playing Golos, okay. They get an island. They play a forest. We untap. Mana Crypt. Tails Never Fails. We draw a counterspell. That buys us a little bit of leeway. Play a swamp, pass the turn. Opponent charges up Coalition Relic. They're going to activate Golos because they have all 5 colors of mana. That's pretty backbreaking. Counterspell Woodfall Primus. We can't let that resolve. It just is too quick of a clock here. They're going to hit us for 3. They don't attack. Alright. We untap. Mana Crypt. Tails Never Fails. We win the flip. We draw Jace. Jace being a looter here is quite good. We can loot away this Verdant Catacombs. I'm not going to play out this other island just yet. Opponent charges up Coalition Relic. Sacks Sakura Tribe Elder. Gets a Swamp. I mean, just one good flip off of Golos and we're probably done. Like if they hit a big Eldrazi Titan or something. But they've already cast Woodfall Primus and Ulamog. I'm not sure what else they could have in their deck. If it's Craterhoof, we can just tap the team. Valky and Natural Order. Alright, opponent casts Valky. They're going to exile the top card of each library. There's nothing we can do about that. They hit Kozilek and Island. Opponent plays my Island. Presumably they're natural ordering. No, they have something else. They're activating Golos again. Double Golos activation is pretty good, I hear. They play Dryad. Well, if we can get Brain Freeze, we can kill them. Power Stone. Land. They cast Veil. They're not natural ordering, so I think they only have natural order for Woodfall Primus, which means their deck is a lot worse, or their other natural order target is in hand. So we take 3, we go to 15. Untap. Mana Crypt. We'll say Tails Never Fails. We win the flip. We draw Time Walk. Amazing. So, loot with Jace. Ponder. Ditch Verdant Catacombs. Flip Jace. Time Walk. Go ahead and flashback Time Walk. Cool. So we got 2 extra turns after this to figure out what the hell we're going to do. Ponder. Put them back in any order and we will shuffle. Actually, I think I have enough mana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11. I would have been able to cast Ulamog. That was a huge error on my part. So, extra turn number 1. Mana Crypt. Tails Never Fails. We win the flip. We draw Spell Pierce. Well, that's not good. Uptick Jace. I have Turnabout. Oh, I put back Evercool. Or Ulamog. Oh, that's so bad. Okay, untap. Mana Crypt. say Tails never fails. We lose the flip. We draw Ever-Flowing Chalice, which does nothing. Desperation mode. Flashback Ponder. Put back Lotus Petal, Force of Negation, Dig Through Time. We will not shuffle, we will draw Dig. So hold priority. Oh wait, is Dig Through Time actually only... Hang on a sec. Dig Through Time is only 6 cards in graveyard, so we're gonna cast Dig first. Whoop. Okay. So we'll get Brain Freeze and Ulamog. Rest of the bottom. I can Brain Freeze them to death, hopefully. Do I Brain Freeze now? Cast Chalice on 0. Brain Freeze my opponent. Same targets, same targets, same targets. Hopefully they don't... Oh, they have Kozilek. Kozilek might be in their hand, though. It is not. Alright, well, mill them. Mill them. Mill Ulamog again. Oh, crap. Yeah, I needed to go with Ulamog the last turn. So I have 7, 8, 9. I'm 1 mana short of Ulamog! No! Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, people are going to yell at me. Hang on a sec. I have 1 mana floating. I can go up to 6. Or, hang on. I can carry over 2 mana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I have exactly enough. I miscounted. Turnabout, target ourself. Pay 2. Land. Untap. Cast Ulamog. Destroy Tybalt. We gave them back other Ulamog, though. And they have 6 cards in hand. Pass the turn. I had an opportunity, because if I had gotten to attack with Ulamog first, I might have actually been able to win. Because we would have gotten 1 attack for the next return, so... Okay, we're F6'd. Thankfully I was able to cast Ulamog, but that's really embarrassing. We've already exiled Time Walk, so no more extra turn shenanigans. Oh, I get better Ulamog! Get out of here. I have 6 minutes to play game 3, so I absolutely need to restart the client and play super fast. Alright, game 3, here we go, playing fast. This hand doesn't do anything. This hand might do something. We'll put back Heartless Act. Maybe I should have kept Heartless Act over Dig Through Time, but come on. Shortcuts. Opponent leads on Forest, plays a Mox Emerald, then passes. We draw Force of Negation, play an island. I might pitch Dig Through Time to Force of Negation, depending on what my opponent plays. We might dismember a creature here. Warren Power Stone. Okay. I maybe should have countered that, but... We draw Brain Freeze, pass the turn. Opponent untaps, plays a land. They play Nissa. Hardcast Force. Thankfully, they did not have Spell Pierce. We draw an island, which means we can play Urza, Lord High Artificer. Get our Construct, pass the turn. Opponent untaps. They play a Forest. They bring to light for 2 colors for Valky. Yep, it's pretty good. They play Tybalt, Cosmic Imposter. They uptick him, exiling Duress and Upheaval. They duress us. Okay. I don't think they're too concerned about anything we have. They probably duress Dig Through Time. Okay, they don't. We untap. We draw Talisman of Resistance, or Resilience. I think we have to spin with Urza. Pretty desperate maneuver. Get an island. Go to combat. Hit Tybalt for 1. Pass the turn. They uptick, exiling Collective Brutality and Woodfall Primus. They play a land. This is probably Woodfall Primus time. Yep. Blows up a land. Alright. We untap. We draw Ulamog. I can Dig Through Time for 4 mana. I think this is actually our better bet. To try and hit some kind of answer. We did not. Alright, pass the turn. Opponent untaps. Upticks. They exile... There's Shark Typhoon and Ulamog. That's the problem. Yep. There's nothing we can do about that. Opponent plays a Swamp. Plays Talisman, gets a Shark. We attack for 6. So we block, dismember, kill Woodfall Primus. It comes back in and kills Underground Sea. We untap. I just don't know what we could possibly recover with at this point. Like, no amount of Time Walks actually gets us to where we need to go. And our opponent is duressing our Dig Through Time and killing our friggin' Tybalt. So I kind of threw the last game, but at the same time, I don't even think one attack from Ulamog would have gotten me back in the game there. I think we had to rely on Brain Freeze to win, and our opponent unfortunately had 2 Eldrazi that shuffled back in. So, dang, I'll see you guys in round 2. Alrighty, round 2. Now, Land Ponder Time Walk's fun, but like, we need more lands in our opener. This hand is a lot better. I will keep this one. I'm going to put back Turnabout. Opponent is playing Lutri the Spell Chaser. That tells us nothing. So I'm going to leave up Spell Pierce. Opponent plays a Swamp. Night's Whisper, I'm going to say no. We untap. We draw Swamp. So let's go ahead and Preordain. I do like Mystical Tutor in this position, so I will take Mystical Tutor. We'll play Verdant Catacombs and pass. But it plays an island into a Porcelain Legionnaire. Crack Verdant Catacombs, get Watery Grave tapped. Stop on our upkeep. Do we want to Time Walk here? I don't think so. I think we can wait one more turn. So, play an island. Play Talisman of Resilience. Now I could Imperial Seal for Time Walk. Is there any better cards we could have? I could Imperial Seal for, like, Shark Typhoon. That might be fun. I don't think we Imperial Seal just yet. We're going to wait. Opponent goes to combat. Attacks us for 3. We go to 16. Opponent puts Lutri in their hand. So let's go ahead and Mystical Tutor. We'll get Time Walk. Untap. We draw Time Walk. Play a Swamp. Play Urza. Get a Construct. Time Walk. Untap. We draw Force of Negation. Oh man, I'm just going to spin, play an island, go to combat, hit our opponent for 2, because we don't have enough to leave up Force of Negation. Then we'll pass. Opponent plays Phyrexian Revoker and names Urza, 100%. Yep. Alright, we untap. We draw the Lotus Petal. So let's Imperial Seal. Dig Through Time is tempting. So is Time Spiral. My opponent still has a bunch of cards in hand, so maybe we do go with Time Spiral. I could get Dismember to free up Urza, but that seems a little short-sighted. I think the pick is either Dig Through Time or Time Spiral. There's also an argument for Shark Typhoon. I'm going to go with Time Spiral. Then we'll pass. And just leave up Force of Negation. Opponent plays a land. They play Metalworker. That's pretty scary. Then they pass. We untap. We get Time Spiral. Play Lotus Petal. Cast Time Spiral. Untap all of our lands. We can Dismember to make 2 mana. Then we can play Jace. Play an island. I can Mystical Tutor and Ponder to draw Time Walk. That seems pretty good. I think I'm going to try and do that. I mean, I could also just go for Brain Freeze, but then we Ponder. Put back, put back, put back. We will not shuffle. Cast Time Walk. Untap. We draw Island. So we loot into an island, flipping Jace, play an island, down tick on Time Walk, cast it again, cast a spell for free, cast Dig Through Time. This is so broken. Alright, let's take Shark Typhoon and Preordain. Rest of the bottom. Alright, no attacks. Go to our next turn. We untap. We draw Mana Crypt, which does make our life actually even easier. Uptick on Porcelain Legionnaire. Play an island, play Mana Crypt, cast Shark Typhoon, then we can cast a spell for free. We don't even have to do that. We can just Preordain, make a 1/1 Shark. Island to the bottom, Spell Pierce to the top, go to combat, attack for 4. I would say that was a very successful series of turns. Pass the turn. So if my opponent Metalworker's out something huge, we counterspell, and we can even protect counterspell with Spell Pierce. Night's Whisper I don't care too much about. We can flashback Dig Through Time to make an 8/8 Shark. And if my opponent does nothing else, we can just spin Urza on their end step and try and hit anything. Getting a time stretch for 2 mana across 2 separate turns is just amazing. Opponent scoops. They can't beat it. Not with whatever hand they had. I'm going to bring in Heartless Act. And I think I'm going to drop Preordain, maybe? I do like the powerful cantrips, but... Well, it's turn 1 Thoughtseize Time Walk if we want it to be. But then we use our only blue mana. I am going to keep this hand. This hand is quite good. Opponent starts Island. We draw Duress. Let's Duress and see if we can figure out what's going on here. Opponent has Mana Drain and Phyrexian Revoker, and that's it. So take Mana Drain. Pass the turn. I'm not going to reveal anything else in my hand. Opponent casts Night's Whisper. Perfect. That makes Thoughtseize better. We draw an Island, which is amazing. Play an Island. We'll play around Days. Thoughtseize. Take Revoker. Opponent has only lands. So play Mana Crypt. Play Jace. Do I want to cast Time Walk off of Lotus Petal? Kind of. It's also not necessary. My opponent has... Oh, they have Caracas. I do want to do this. Cast Lotus Petal. Make blue mana. Time Walk. Untap. We'll say Tails never fails. Opponent just scoops! Oh, we only had one card left. It was awesome. Yeah, Time Stretch for 4 mana on 2 turns. Too strong. See you guys in round 3. Alright, round 3, and we're on the play. I think we get a mulligan. We can't keep all black mana hand in a deck that is primarily blue. This hand is strong. Well, stronger. Yeah, we'll try keeping this. We're going to lead on Duress and just see what happens, I think. So play Verdant Catacombs. Get a Swamp. No reason to play Lotus Petal yet. It's Duress. Opponent's got Oko, Balaged Recovery. I could take Balaged Recovery, and my opponent then only has an island and can't play anything else. But I know if I do this, they'll play Oko, and we'll lose. Let's test this theory. Take Balaged Recovery. I could Lotus Petal and then Imperial Seal for Jace. Start drawing extra cards and try and get additional card advantage. That's actually kind of reasonable. Sack Lotus Petal for black. Imperial Seal. We'll put Jace Vryn's Prodigy on top of our deck. Pass the turn. They drew green, man. This is a turn 2 Oko. No, it's exactly what I called. Play Underground Sea. Play Jace. Oh no, they didn't play Gilded Goose. They played Uraga Tree Speaker. Well, should have taken Oko. They level up Tree Speaker. They can now play Revoker on Jace Vryn's Prodigy, and we're just dead in the water because we have nothing else. I have to, like, draw Dismember. Yep, that's what I get for the greed. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and scoop it up. Opponent knows very little about our deck now. Enough to probably be relevant. Heartless Act over Preordain. Run it back. I called it, too. I was like, I'm going to Duress their only green source because they could get completely shafted on mana. Top deck's 2 running green sources. Alright, play first. This hand is okay. I will keep. Shock Watery Grave. Let's go with a Thoughtseize. Opponent kept 1 land, Noble Hierarch, Ancestral Recall. Well, definitely taking Ancestral Recall here. Pass the turn. Opponent plays Forest Noble. We untap and draw Time Spiral, play an island. Pass the turn, leave up Spell Pierce. Opponent probably has to Gilded Goose or Green Sun Zenith this turn. They could play Steve. Okay, they drew an island. Let's see if they run out Oko, because we definitely Spell Pierce if they do. They play Steve and Goose. We untap. We draw a Swamp. Play an island. Multi-kick once. Pass the turn. Leave up Spell Pierce, playing around Daze. Opponent sacks Steve, gets a land. Opponent now has 5 mana, so they can play Oko around a Spell Pierce. That sucks. They have 6 mana. Well, here's hoping they Green Sun X5 for like an Elder Gargaroth or something, rather than just play Oko. They play Eternal Witness, which we can do nothing about. Picking up Ancestral Recall. Yep. There's no reason for them to recall right now. At least not to my knowledge. And even if they did, they could still pay for it. They would just have to sack the food. Alright. Well, now if they recall, we can Spell Pierce them. We take 1, go to 15. We untap. Opponent's going to recall on our upkeep. Spell Pierce. The only time Spell Pierce is going to matter. Opponent's last 2 cards in hand are Green Sun and Oko. We draw Talisman of Resilience. Play a Swamp. Play Urza, which is probably going to get elked. But not a lot we can do about that. We need to play him. Pass the turn. And the reason we Spell Pierce there rather than waiting for Green Sun or Oko is because we can't Spell Pierce Oko at basically any point. And Green Sun only matters if they're Green Sunning for something huge, which they may not have been. The problem is if I Time Spiral, even though I get to cast all of my spells first, my opponent will likely be able to take more advantage of it because they have more mana. Opponent plays Oko. Elks Urza. Urza, Lord High Elkifsir. Still kind of hoping to draw a land. I'm getting lightheaded. I don't know why. I think it's all the excitement. Alright, we untap. We draw a Lotus Petal. So, go to combat. Attack with both creatures at Oko. Opponent is going to trade with the token. Oko takes 3. Go to our second main, play Lotus Petal, because we need the mana. And we're going to Time Spiral. Untap all of our lands. Play an island. We'll ponder. We get Shark Typhoon, Imperial Seal, and an island. I think we have to put all of these back and shuffle. We want something else we can cast, if possible. So play Mana Crypt, play Talisman. Brain Freeze our opponent. This is not any grand way to win or nothing. We don't have nearly enough storm count, but I was really hoping for a time walk. So we get to mill 18 of their 26 cards. Hopefully they do not have Gigantic Eldrazi. Although they are blue-green ramp. Alright. Pass the turn with nothing going for us. We've already used our... So we've used our Time Spiral. The big problem is we don't have any cards that draw extra cards. All of our stuff just cantrips, really. None of our creatures will be anything other than Elks, because we can't kill Oko. So even if we draw Jace, he just turns into an Elk. Because unless we have Jace plus Time Walk, we can't actually do anything. I guess we have Dig Through Time, and we do have enough mana to actually cast Dig Through Time. They attack us for 3. They play Tree Speaker, level up Tree Speaker. Alright, we untap. Mana Crypt. Tails never fails. We lose the flip. Draw nothing. Pass the turn. Man, even if we just had Snapcaster and could Snapcaster Brain Freeze, we could win. But we don't. So opponent attacks us for 2 in the air. We go down to 5. They animate a food. Play a land. I don't even know what we could draw at this point, or what sequence of draws we could possibly have. Opponent leveling up their Tree Speaker a lot. Yep. We untap. Mana Crypt. We'll say Tails. We win the flip. We draw nothing. Oh, I deserve that. I deserve that match. Alright, well. Hope you guys enjoyed alternative Vintage Cube. I will probably be doing a few more of these. I don't know if they're going to come out consecutively. I don't know if regular content's going to be made because of what I mentioned at the beginning of this video. So if you missed that announcement, if you skipped past me talking, please go back and listen. I've just got some personal stuff. Not going to announce exactly what, but things that require my attention more than this YouTube channel for the next little bit. I don't want to miss daily uploads if I can avoid it, so expect a little bit extra Vintage Cube is basically the result of the announcement. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this content. If you did, please leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe to the channel if you're so inclined, and remember you can follow me on Twitch, same username over there as you find me on here. I stream Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Mountain Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, though the last few times have been earlier than that. And yeah, hope to see you guys next time. Bye! Hey, just wanted to give a shout out to my patrons for the month of May. If you want to support my channel directly and have your name show up in this list, there's a link to my Patreon in the description down below. Thank you all.